Hello, my name's Sabrina Wayneth from sabrinawayneth.com. I'm a psychotherapist in private practice, and this is just a short video about how you can transform your relationship in 24 hours. When I see clients, either individuals or couples who are in a relationship that's in crisis, I try and give them something very tangible and practical that they can implement immediately, and that's going to have immediate results. That something is the concept of love languages. It's really the idea that we all need to receive love in different ways. And once people really implement these, I really have seen relationships transform overnight. So I think it's the closest thing to a quick fix when it comes to relationships that you're going to find. And the beauty of it is that if you keep implementing them over the long term, they really create the foundation of an incredibly solid and loving relationship. So what are these 5 love languages? Dr. Gary Chapman outlines them. First one is words of affirmation. So any kind of compliments or supportive words or loving words. The key is that it has to be something verbal. So I love yous, not in action, not in gifts, but in actual words. Number 2 is quality time. So any kind of hanging out together, doing things together, but where both people are really present, and often there's a lot of talking or communicating or listening and dialoguing and sharing of thoughts and feelings in this one. Number 3 is receiving gifts, so that might be very small or large gifts, and the key is really for those whose primary love language it is a sort of sense that, oh, my partner was thinking of me even when they weren't with me, hence the gift. Number 4 is acts of service. So this is actually quite a popular one, but it's sort of household chores or administrative tasks. Nothing very sexy, but it can actually sort of hold a lot of meaning. And number 5 is physical touch. So whether that's hugs or sort of a stroke of the cheek or sex, all of it sort of goes into the realm of physical touch. So I want to talk a little bit more about the problems and the mistakes that I see people make when it comes to these love languages. The 2 that I see over and over and over again are linked to quality time and acts of service. So pay attention. If your partner's primary love language is quality time, listen up. It's really important that you get what quality time is. It's really about sharing time when both of you are incredibly present. So whether you're communicating thoughts or feelings, it's really important that you're listening. So number 1, maintain eye contact when you're talking to your spouse. It'll give her or him the impression that you're fully there and listening and interested, and B, it will actually stop you from sort of your mind from wandering off to other thoughts. The second one is don't multitask when you're speaking or communicating. So no watching TV or a movie or checking emails or BlackBerry or iPods, none of that. Really focus entirely on your partner. The third one is don't interrupt. A big part of giving your partner quality time is listening. And even though we often think we're good listeners, the average person listens for about 17 seconds apparently before interrupting, usually with their own thoughts or ideas or their own experiences. So see if you can refuse to interrupt. Really get that the point is not to sort of make your point, it's really about understanding their thoughts and feelings. And even if your partner's saying something that you're like, oh, I just want to retaliate and defend my position, just try and listen instead. And lastly, when you are sort of spending quality time together, it's really important that you're listening versus advice giving. This is sort of a typical men are from Mars, women are from Venus one, but so important that you're not trying to fix things, give solutions or give advice. Mostly it's just a question of listening and understanding so that your partner feels seen and heard and understood. So that's the first one that often causes trouble. The other one is acts of service. One person in the relationship is working long hours at the office or wherever it is, and the last thing they feel like doing is coming home to do some vacuuming or changing a diaper or any such a household task. But if your spouse's love language is acts of service, it's really important that you do contribute with these tasks, whether they're household chores or administrative tasks, just because it makes your partner feel part of a team and feel loved. So even if you've got a nanny, even if you've got a cleaning lady, and even if you think this really isn't your realm or your job, you choose to participate because it makes your partner feel loved. And this is obviously important from the stereotypical kind of vantage point where the man's in the office and the woman's running the household or taking care of the kids during the day. It's important for the man to actually contribute in that system. Or I've also seen it in the reverse, where it's actually the man whose sort of primary love language is acts of service, and the woman is off busy at the office, and he's craving for her to cook a home-cooked meal, and she's so not into it because she doesn't want to be the typical housewife. And again, it's not about conforming to any sort of old-fashioned roles. It's just about seeing, oh, what makes my partner feel loved, and if that's cooking him dinner, then every so often make sure you do that. It's that simple. So these love languages are obviously an opportunity to transcend any fixed or limited notions of what your role in the relationship is, and to learn how to just show up to what makes your partner feel loved. You'll notice the more you do the things that make them feel loved, the more they'll reciprocate, and it becomes a vicious cycle, but in a very positive way. If you want to read more about love languages, then if you haven't already done so, check out my blog post on www.sabrinaweymouth.com. And I've also detailed Dr. Gary Chapman's book there, which is called The 5 Love Languages, The Secret to Love That Lasts. Thanks as always for watching.